Hi everyone, Pat Nonly Network. I've got Luke Tagg from GameShape, and Luke is going to talk to us a little bit about what he's got on his website and how it's helping coaches. So, welcome, Luke. Thank you for being with us.
Hi, Pat. Thanks for having me.
Listen, Luke, we'll get straight into it. This is a bit of a question and answers one. What problems is GameShape looking at? What's it solving for coaches?
So, as a grassroots coach myself, I'm forever recreating my drills on bits of paper. I lose them on a training ground. I write them down. I found a load in my drawer upstairs for pre-season the other week. I'm constantly writing them out, taking to training, might get wet, might lose them. And I've always thought, well, we do pre-season over and over again. We do our drills over and over again. So there must be a simple way to create, save, and share my drills, and just have a good bank that I can reuse. Then potentially at the training pitch, if I need to open my drills up and look at them, whether it's when I'm as a PDF or something like that, I can do that. But yeah, it's really just a simple concept that don't recreate everything and build your knowledge with other people.
Fair enough. Well, that was going to be my question, because there are some session tools out there, session planning tools. So what makes this a little bit different to what's already available, mate?
Okay. So there's a lot of coaching tools out there where you can create a drill, you can save a drill, you can add it into your library. This is a little bit different in that you can do all of that, but you can then also add your drills onto an area called our touchline. And in the touchline, it's all about adding some drills that you think others might find useful, or showcasing your own drills, wanting to get feedback on a particular drill. So the idea being, this community of coaches ideally start signing up to GameShape, start creating drills. They might only share, say, 1 in 5 of the drills to the touchline, but for when anybody does share a drill, they can receive comments, they can get likes, other coaches can go and save that drill and extend it. And really, when you look at the amount of drills out there, nobody is starting from scratch. You know, nobody's saying, I'm going to build a drill from scratch.
Yeah.
It's always inspired by something else. So the idea is that we can build that community and foster that learning, because across the coaching community, there's going to be coaches who maybe are accredited with various bodies, and there's going to be coaches who are just starting on that journey because they've got their son or their daughter playing football and they've been asked to come and do the coaching. So really, it's spread across all different types of coaches.
Yeah, that's a good point, because one of my questions was, is it main for academy kind of coaching, or is this for like grassroots coaching? From the sounds of it, it's spread across any coaches across the football community. So that's perfect. You mentioned the community, you mentioned sharing. Is it free? How much do you have to pay for it? How does it work?
Yeah, so GameShape is free. It's been developed based on what I think will be a good coaching tool, talking to other coaches as well, getting their feedback. Over time, if there was an opportunity to really develop it further with even richer features, then potentially there would be an option for a subscription tier or something like that. But at the moment, you can create drills, you can save them, you can share them, you can use all the areas of the site for free. So yeah, all free at the moment.
Cool. Obviously, once you've created the drills, does that put it in some sort of like a coaching library?
Yeah, exactly that. So once you've created a drill and you've chosen your pitch type, full pitch, half pitch, splits, whatever you need, you've created a drill that's static or animated, you then save it down, and then that's locked into your library, and you can create all your drills in there, one big bucket. You imagine you could have 1 to 100 in there, or even more. At that point, you can also share it to the touchline. So you might think, well, I'm going to share that drill to the public area, get a bit of feedback, or even just want to showcase my drill. One important thing is that when it's in the library, you could have all these drills, but what about when you want to do a session? So you've got pre-season session number 1 coming up, and there's 5 really important drills you want to do. So you can create a session in the library and pull those 5 drills into it, create an easy read version, a PDF and print version, and then therefore you're creating one big bucket of drills, but you're also creating sessions that contain many drills. So it's good in that way that unorganized bucket of drills can become organized into some sessions.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So what's the there's a touchline feature. I saw something on the website earlier. So we'll go through what the website can do. So obviously you can create your drills, you can add them to a library. What's the touchline aspect?
So touchline is at the point of creating a drill, or when a drill's in your library, you get an option to promote it to the touchline. And I just thought that the touchline would be a perfect place to showcase drills from other coaches. I can start following that coach and see what other drills they've done. I can save one of those drills to my library and not impact that coach's drill, but just save a copy and extend it. In that touchline area, I can comment on a drill, maybe give a bit of feedback to a coach, start off a bit of a thread about how that maybe could be developed into a different type of drill. And really, if I don't want my drill to appear in there anymore, I can just delete it. I can re-add it again at any time. So it's really that idea of showcasing your drills and allowing other coaches to go and extend them or just use them as is.
I mean, you're not reinventing the wheel, basically. So you're a coach. You've got your own drills. You have a look at another coach. You can then go, actually, that coach is pretty cool. I like the way they're doing it. Or if you're in a club and you've got various coaches, so you might be the under 10s and then you'll coach in one particular way, but the under 12s and 13s will be looking at what you're doing. They can expand on it. That makes a lot of sense. So are there any other features of what you've got going on the website?
So I guess back to the touchline, obviously that will be a bucket of drills shared on the touchline, but you can filter those by age group. You know, if you're looking for your under 10s, your under 12s, or maybe open age, you can do a normal search. You can filter on who I've saved, who I've favorited or followed. Other parts of the site, so there's an area called Match Day. So as a coach, I coach one squad. So I can create my squad at any point in time through the season. I've just done that now. So I've created who I know is in our squad. I've not created any formations of that yet, but I've been allowed to create a squad in Match Day. So that's just sitting there. And as we get nearer to some of our pre-season games, I can work with our other coaches and say, well, what do we think about this formation? And start to build different formations for different teams. At that point, we may want to share that squad and that formation out to the team the night before or 2 days before, maybe after training. And again, that's really, it's quite a quick win, that, because you create your squad once, you're probably updating it, well, you know, however many times you need to, but week on week, you can create all them formations based on the squad.
Yeah, makes sense.
You might be a coach with multiple squads in that you've got a couple of teams you're running. Again, you can do that. You can create multiple squads and multiple formations.
Now, I'm going to have a look at a couple of things that we can do together as well after this quick question and answer, mate. So we'll narrow it down. But is there any way that we can share the screen? Because I'd actually really like to see this. I'm just wondering whether you can share the screen on your side. Can you do that?
Yep, I can. Let's see.
Right, let's have a look, because it'd be good to have some of these features, and then we can explain maybe the boot room that's in there.
Yep. Let's go. Okay. All right. So this is our landing page, and you can see there's a couple of calls to action around registration and login. They're just on the home page, but these ones follow you around, so you can do that at your leisure, whether it's a register or login. We've got our handy guides, so if you're not too sure about GameShape, what the options are, what you can do, you can click on this and have a look at the guides, and that's quite fluid. We'll update that as we go and we add more features. We're going to create, and you can see.
You're going to create a session, like a coaching session.
Yeah, I could do one really.
Yeah, go on then. Took us through a coaching session.
All right. So let's do a pass and move on the edge of the box session to help our strikers. So quickly chose the penalty view. I could have chose any of these, but penalty area is where we're going for. Let's do an animated one. So at any point in time, I could do full screen, and it'll blow it up as full screen. If I'm on a mobile, I can choose full screen, and it will tell me to, or nudge me to, put my screen landscape. So all that's catered for. But let's do it really simple. So we'll add a player here, and we'll add a player there, and we'll animate this one. It'll take literally 30 seconds. So we've got our players there. We're going to add a ball, and we're going to say that ball's going to be passed to you, and we're going to get it back and just have a shot. Nice and simple. So we'll keep the colours as we are. We could have changed the colours of our teams, and we could have had a couple of cones. There'll be more elements that we add, like hopefully some mannequins, maybe some mini goals, all those types of things. So we'll add another frame. So we'll just show that ball going over, and we'll add another frame again, and it arrives over here. And then we'll show this player moving. We'll delete that pass there, and we'll say we want you to pass that back over there.
Yeah, so simple pass and move, and then shot.
Pass and move. We'll do another. Sorry, we'll do another one to here, and then we'll do another one over here. Okay, and then we can go up to 12 frames, but let's just say we shoot from here, we go in like that. So
Harry Kane. Really nice.
Okay, so we can view that.
Cool.
Quite basic, but you get the idea. You can make it as difficult or as complex.
Well, the idea is to give you a tool. It's a free tool. It's a tool that coaches know how to use. It's not going to be massively complicated. I mean, we saw you build that in seconds. And the idea is that's a simple drill. Pass, move, shoot. You can save that. Coaches have probably done that. So you can copy what coaches might have done in the past, or you can save that one and then have it as a part of your library. Is that the way that it works?
That's it. So we give it a name. So I've just used some sample name, sample description, add a little bit more into there. Let's say it's a 10-minute drill. Let's say this is really good for 12, 14, 16 and open age. And the aim is first time finish. Let's say pass, move, and let's say physical, first 5 yard sprint maybe, or something like that. So now at this point, we'll just save it. And that's now saved into my library. At this point, I can share it to the touchline. I don't have to, but I can do. If I share it to the touchline, let's just do that. And there, it's gone into the touchline. At this point in time, I could download an image of it or a PDF. We're working on making those PDFs really, really easy read and usable. So you can do that at the moment, but to showcase it, we'll probably wait for a couple of weeks before we've done another bit more development on that PDF.
Well, you're developing, and coaches are coming up with stuff on a regular basis. That's why you're doing it for free as well. Is because coaches know what coaches want to be doing, and you've got to learn off each other. Kind of makes sense to do that. Or those ones that they're already been under that touchline. There's some of those are already existing.
That's it. Yeah. So we've shared it to the touchline, and in here now you can see we've got the sample one I just added. We've got another one I did a few days ago. We've got another coach there that's added one. We've got another few coaches there, and we can just load up more and more. So you can see, let me just show. So we've got quite a few other ones in here. We've got a few World Cup icons that I thought I'd add into there. We've got another couple of coaches. So as I say, depending on if you want to showcase your drills, they'll end up in here. We have quite a regular number of coaches that do that. And then other coaches are just happy just keeping it into their library. If at any time I wanted to go across to library, I can do. And I can go and see that one that I've just added in. So this is my bucket of drills. Now I've got loads in here, so I'm going to scroll all the way down. So this is like the coach who's got all the drills, hasn't shared them all, but you can see that's the one I've just created. Yeah. A couple of test ones in here as well.
I mean, it's really cool because it's drills, and obviously you can have a look at, you mentioned the World Cup, quite logical at the moment that we're talking about World Cup events, but when you're looking at the World Cup ones, that's not so much of a drill, that's explaining what's happened within a game sequence. So it could be, for example, for that goal, can you see how that player moved from here to here? Yeah. So you've got one going on now.
Yeah, so this is the famous miss by Pele, who dummied the ball, I think, in the 70 World Cup and just put it wide. He scored many amazing goals, but I just think his movement off the ball that day was amazing. And then even though he put it wide, it's still a great showcase to see what players of that ilk and quality can do.
Brilliant. So, can you show us the boot room? Is that something that I'm missing on there?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so in the boot room, so boot room is where we can have a bit of inspiration. We can generate some drills based on your coaching level that you want to have a drill for, and we're aligned to general coaching principles across football. So the AI generated drills won't all be perfect, but they're things that can then nudge you to then go and extend them. So if I wanted to create one, maybe a UEFA level, and I wanted let's say we want a really good match day warm up, isn't so much a drill, but it's, we always talk about we want to get the things right on match day. So let's say, give me a 10-minute warm up to get legs pumping and ball work. So let's just see. So we can ask the boot room AI. That's going off now. It knows it's a UEFA coach, and it knows that we've asked it for match day type of training drill. So this is what it's giving us back. The good thing about this is it puts it in the same format as any other drill that's been created. So we get a title, a description, a duration, an age group, all the learning objectives, all the outcomes that we have on elsewhere. Tells us about the number of players. Do we need cones, balls? Is it animated? No. Now, this is still really quite in development and has lots to come. So the idea is that's your drill that's been created.
Yeah.
We're looking at doing some more work on how we can reuse these AI drills that have been done. But essentially then as a coach, I can say, right, I understand that. I'll create it in the builder now. So now this is going to go away. It's going to create it now. It said it was 10 lots of 10. So we've got 10 lots of players. We've definitely got 2 cones. It hasn't been perfectly done because we haven't got everything on that pitch that I think we said. We didn't get a ball, so we'd have to add that one in. We need to move players around a bit, but you can see it's tried to build that up based on the description. So as a coach, what I'd do now is I'd go through that description and I'd start to maneuver my drill how I want it. Maybe animate it or keep it static. And again, save it or share it to Touchline at that point.
To be honest, what you've got there is a feature we're using AI, and as AI is getting better, but also as the AI is sitting within your system. So as it's learning and it's understanding what the coaches want and what the coaches are after, it's going to obviously improve what it's bringing out. That's the whole point of AI, is it's learning as it's going along. So yeah, it's fantastic, mate. Thank you. Really appreciate all of that element to it. Can you show me a little bit about match day?
Yep, I will. So as I say, match day, I'm a coach of a team in Warrington, and I coach with our manager and another coach. So there's one manager, 2 coaches, and we've got one squad. I might be a coach where I've got multiple squads. So I wanted to allow this to create multiple squads. One I've created here is the Sample Squad United. So if I open that, you can see that this is the squad builder and the match day builder. So it tells me that I'm actively editing this one. I can go back to squads at any time. I can choose a colour for my kit. And I can start adding my squad here. So we allow like 3 characters because we don't really want to be naming players. We don't know if they're going to be under 13, or generally just want to keep it to initials. So we can add a player. I'll add a midfielder there. And you can see I can just keep building up my squad. Now, at any point in time, I can go back to my squads. I don't have to create a formation. I can just have a squad. That's fine. But at some point in the future, I am going to want to say, great, let's build a formation for an upcoming game. So to keep it simple, let's say I'm a new coach of an underage team and I've just took on the 3v3 scenario. So you can see we've got 3v3, obviously, might not be as much laid out as this in terms of space, but we can add more players to the pitch. We can remove them. We can add a player to our bench and become a game changer, as we'd like to call them. So that's my formation, and I can say, great, we're going to play Man United under sixes, and we'll play them on this Saturday, and I can save it. So that formation is now saved.
Yep.
Underneath here, and I can open that up at any time I want. I can download a nice easy image of it. I can reset it. I can go into a presentation mode. So this is what we were saying, that as a coach, I might do my formations, but I might want to share this with a couple of other coaches on WhatsApp. So I can just grab that URL, I can put it into WhatsApp, and they'll get a nice easy read view. It's quite basic, but it tells our coach and other coaches what we're planning on doing.
I mean, if you're a coach and you want your team, I mean, if you're, this is just a bit silly, but you've got your match day, you're running late, your squad's arriving, you haven't got huge amounts of time to go through what your actual formation is going to be and the squad's going on there, you can copy that URL and you can send it through WhatsApp to people who are driving and getting to the pitch. That's exactly one of the ways that actually modern technology helps us, because sometimes when you turn up at the game and you've literally got 30 seconds to get your kit on, the last thing you're going to do is listen to the manager going on about, right, you're going to be going over here and going over there because you're worrying about getting ready for the pitch. So I can see how that has applications in that way as well. So what have you got going on there? That's a full pitch.
That's a full pitch, full squad. Loads of game changers. Might be more than 11 on there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it's 11. We can move these around, might be playing more wing backs. We can really just play around with it. And the good thing is, game on game, at the moment, this is obviously just capturing some very basic details, but the sort of development of this would be to add some coaches' notes into it. So game on game, we're saving our formations. We could add what the score was. We could add some notes from a coach, who maybe excelled in that certain position. Who do we think is going to have a challenge in position A, B, C? So it's really, I think the beauty of this now is it's at a point where hopefully I can get some feedback. There's a handy form. There's a form at the end of each page, and really it's at a point where I think if other coaches start to use it, I can get that rich feedback.
Superb, Luke. Thank you. Listen, mate, it's exactly right on the feedback. That's why I want to get involved in it, because it's going onto our platform, Non-League Network, and it's going. I mean, the Non-League Network is there to really help coaches, players at the various different levels in the non-professional game. This is perfect because it's free. It's something that allows it to have an idea of a community, and people are sharing their sort of their tactics, their drills, and you don't want to reinvent the wheel. It isn't something that is all whistles and beautifully done. The whole point is when you're actually looking at some of the work that you're doing with coaches and, under 8s, under 9s, whatever. Yeah. For it to look pretty, that's great. But for it to actually be worthwhile and actually work properly, that's what coaches want. They don't want something that isn't going to work. So thank you. I really appreciate that. We're going to put all the links on the Non-League Network. What you were saying at the end is perfect because it is a lot of work that you have already put in place. But what my understanding is, you're going to listen to the feedback from the coaches. And when you say it's built by coaches, for coaches, that's exactly right. Yeah, so you're going to be adding into there. If a coach is saying, actually, it would be great if you had this feature on there, I know that you're going to be looking at how you can do that. So
yeah, definitely.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Luke.
Definitely. Yeah, thanks, Pat. Thanks for having me.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
Thank you.